Hi, let's create some fire. So I'm just going to start with the default cube. Probably would want to put this on a sphere, some sort of sphere, but let's make our steps kind of snappy here. So I'm going to go to Object, Quick Effects, and there's some options here. We're going to hit Quick Smoke. I know it's not fire, but I'm going to go ahead and play it right away so I can see my smoke. And there's a couple things to see here. There's an orange outer box. This is called a domain, and it kind of contains the fire. You can see smoke is, once I hit play on the timeline, there is smoke emanating from the cube. It's gathering at the top. So I'm going to let this play a little bit, but I'm going to change some settings. One of the settings I want to change is on the cube. I'm going to go to this button here that looks like a dot with a half circle around it, because this is where I can go ahead and add fire. So now it has fire and smoke. And it takes some time. We're going to just keep going here. So I added fire and smoke even though I don't see it just yet. Some other things I want to change is this on the domain. I want to change the resolution to about 40. That will tighten it up, tighten the fire up against, there we see the fire. It tightens it up against the cube. It looks a little bit better. Some other settings while I'm on the domain. So this is oranged out. This is selected. I'm going to scroll down in here again. I'm on this tab here with the physics properties. I'm looking for Vorticity. Vorticity will make the fire look just a little bit more realistic. I'm going to bump that up to about 0.3, and it takes my fire off, but I'm going to keep this playing, and as soon as it starts all over, it updates with my new settings. I'm also going to check off Dissolve. What dissolve does is when it plays, the smoke doesn't gather at the top of the domain anymore. So it does dissolve before it gets to the top. And I can control that. If I click on this little caret beside the dissolve, I can say I want it to last 8 frames, or I want it to last 3 frames. And so what it does is as it's playing, the smoke will add 5 frames right now, because it says 5, off of the fire. There's other settings in here you can look through, like if you need Sonic the Hedgehog throwing smoke, you might want to change the color of the flames. So there's some other things that you can change with the fire. Some things that I need to change to make this render well. I'm going to pause this. I want to be on the domain. Before I render it, I want to be on the domain so it's selected. And I want to be on where I would change the material properties. And in here, this new option, I'm going to click on this volume. So I'm expanding the menu under volume and looking for something that says black body. And I'm going to change that from 0 to 1. I hand type it in there, but you can kind of click in there and use a spinner to drag it up if you wish. That helps it render and keep the fire on there. From there, you can render and save. I'm going to save this to my desktop as fire. It needs to be AVI raw. And I don't want it to start on frame 1. I want it to start, I don't want that poof there. I want it to start like right there. That's frame, what is that, 32. So I'm going to go at least over 32. I'm going to put 33 in here. So it's going to render from frame 33 to 250. And make sure my camera's on it. So I need to zoom out with my camera. As a review, I use Shift tilde, and then I can use my arrow keys. And finally, I can go to Render Animation, and it renders every single frame. Now, I might want to mess with my resolution settings, but I do have some nice fire coming, and that's what we wanted to do today. So we just built some fire.